If you've been following the Olympics, you may have heard of the surprising performances of two 18-year-old women from Namibia. One of them, Christine Mboma, stunned the track and field world by taking a silver medal in the 200 meters race. Her compatriot Beatrice Masilingi finished sixth, but their rise to the big stage has been shaken by questions over their high levels of naturally occurring testosterone.
Winning a silver medal at the Olympics at just 18 years of age, usually the beginning of a great career. Namibia's Christine Mboma, already a giant on the track. Off of it, she's a shy teenager.
I can say this is my first Olympic. I was feeling nervous to run against Thompson and other best athletes. When I was young, I was watching them, and I didn't expect to run with them. Then I just push and do my best.
In Tokyo, and in addition to winning a silver medal, Mboma broke the 200-meter world record for under 20 years old, 3 times in 2 days. A true track star in the making, provided she's allowed to continue to compete, because both Mboma and her teenage compatriot Beatrice Masilingi, who finished 6th in the 200-meter final, have naturally high testosterone levels. Reacting to their surprising runs, the head of the governing body of World Athletics said it was pretty observable that the last 30 or 40 meters of the 200 were impactful. And actually, I think that vindicated the decision about the 400 meters. If you're finishing at 200 meters like that, you extend the runway. Under the IAAF rules, the two sprinters' rare physiology is deemed to give them an unfair competitive advantage in track events ranging between 400 meters and a mile. The IAAF has been trying to deal with the issue for years, since the emergence of Caster Semenya in 2009, who's also classified as an athlete with naturally high testosterone levels. Semenya has been the most outspoken critic of the federation rules, challenging them in various courts. After losing all the cases, South Africa's 2-time Olympic 800-meter champion was barred from defending her title in Tokyo. My responsibility, as uncomfortable as it is, says Sebastian Coe, is always to do whatever I can to maintain the integrity of competition and that level playing field. We've never said that there may not be advantages at lower levels elsewhere. Christine Mboma looks to have a promising future ahead of her, at least if she's allowed to continue competing. Calls are growing for a ban to be slapped on athletes like her who have naturally high testosterone levels. But there's one race that she's guaranteed to keep on winning. Back home in Namibia, where she's a national hero.
To talk more about this and the rest of the Olympic Games as they wrap up, let's speak to my colleague from DW Africa. He's a sports commentator there, Isaac Mugabi, who joins us now from Bonn. Isaac, good to have you on the program. We've seen the controversy surrounding Christine Mboma and Beatrice Masilingi from Namibia. How has that news gone down back home in Namibia?
Well, Tommy, Namibians, of course, are not happy that their female runners were denied the chance of bringing home medals in the 400 meters category because of high testosterone levels. Many have been questioning Olympics organizers regarding their methodology to determine who and who doesn't have high levels of testosterone talked about among female athletes. And for many, the banning of the Namibian teens from competing is a kind of direct attack or marginalization of African women in sports. They are also questioning why 2 teenagers representing the US and Great Britain won gold and silver in the women's 800 meters, beating seasoned runners. No speculations or requests for them to take testosterone tests were done. And well, to me, the issue of the 2 teenagers has reopened, I should say, the whole debate about differences in sexual involvement once again. World athletics has been widely criticized by some in the scientific community to show there was an advantage in events ranging from 400 meters to a mile. They believe they don't have the scientific evidence to back it up. But at least for now, the teenagers have received enormous support. And for them, that's what matters most.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that's an issue that will probably be following even after the event is over. But you followed these games closely, the Tokyo 2020. What have your highlights been?
Tommy, thanks for the question. To begin with, I mean, there was Peruth Chemtai, who became the first Ugandan woman to win an Olympic Games gold medal in any sport when she triumphed in the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase. You know, I like history makers, I should say that. And steeplechase is not an easy sport. It involves jumping hurdles, water bodies, and has been dominated by the mighty Kenyans. And of course, yeah, Christine Mboma, that we've been talking about, who also won Namibia's first Olympic medal in the female category. Tommy, you know, in the 90s, there was Frankie Fredericks, who was the only Namibian to have won an Olympic medal, but until Christine Mboma came into the picture in these Olympics. And not to forget, Tatiana Schoonmaker of Team South Africa, she won a gold medal and broke the world record in the women's 200-meter breaststroke. This is a sport that has been dominated by the Americans and Australians. I mean, for me, the female athletes have made more headlines this time than their male colleagues, and for me, they're the takeaways. I liked the performance.
That's great to hear, and some bright futures from what you're suggesting there. But apart from these triumphs, these laudable performances, some African teams have faced problems off the field. Can you tell us more?
There is this viral video of Team Nigeria's Chukwuebuka Enekwechi, who is in the finals of the shot put event at the Olympics, posted himself washing his jersey. And via TikTok video, he revealed that he just has one jersey and has to wash it at night in preparation for the day's game. I mean, it was a sarcastic approach, but guess what? The caption itself, like when you made the Olympics finals, but you have only one jersey, the embarrassing video, Puma, the sports manufacturing giant Puma, officially terminated its sponsorship contract with the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. I mean, it was a big embarrassment. A country like Nigeria, you have an athlete who's making to the finals and they have to wash their jersey every evening. That's an embarrassment.
And that's because the athletes did not receive their consignment of jerseys.
Exactly, they didn't get more than what you know they're supposed to get. Yet, actually, the sponsors gave them everything that they needed. Of course, you also have the Ugandan weightlifter who was taken to Tokyo only to learn that he won't be participating. And the guy, I watched him on TV, I mean, crying on local television, saying, I was brought here and I thought I would participate, but now looking back home, I have nothing to return to. I come from a poor background. That's why he chose, you know, to escape. But he was later, you know, found and then taken back to Uganda. And then it was also another embarrassment because Uganda has now has apologized to Tokyo, you know, of that kind of embarrassment. He was detained, later released, and many Ugandans are feeling sorry for him, and they're saying shame to the officials.
There's quite a lot to ponder upon as the Olympics end and as people look forward to the next, not too far away from now. But Isaac Mugabi, thank you for summing all of that up for us. It's been great to hear your thoughts. Isaac Mugabi, DW's sports commentator, speaking to us from Bonn. Now, another of those troubles off the field affected Fatoumata Yarie Camara, a wrestler from Guinea. She was the only professional athlete from her country to qualify for the Tokyo Olympics, but her preparations were disrupted when Guinean officials announced a withdrawal from the competition over COVID-19 concerns. But under international pressure, Guinea later reversed its decision.
Tokyo's Narita International Airport, the final arrival. It felt like a miracle for Fatoumata Yarie Camara, and she had a message for women and girls in Africa. I asked them to be courageous because the sport I'm taking part in is a combat sport. It's not easy. You need to be brave. It demands courage and perseverance. Her road to Tokyo had been more than bumpy. Raised in a poor neighborhood in the capital Conakry, she had no gyms, no professional trainers, no doctors nor dieticians to help her. Her traditionalist family was no support, but her coach only had encouragement for her.
First of all, you have to convince your own family that you want to practice sport. And then when it becomes about wrestling, it becomes more challenging because most of the time in the culture, wrestling is for men.
And Camara overcame all the obstacles. A grant brought her a 2 weeks training in Rome. Then, disaster. Just 2 days before the start of the Games, Guinea withdrew, citing health concerns due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Camara was devastated, but she wasn't giving up her dream just yet. I want the President of the Republic to review his decision for me, because I really want to take part in these Olympic Games. An international outcry followed, and the government relented.
Guineans could not understand Guinea not taking part in the Games. The president understood. He got in touch with his contacts to ensure the Guinean delegation would be protected and that the conditions would be adequate for preventing us from catching this disease amid this cursed pandemic.
Camara puts her achievement down to African fortitude. We are mentally strong. If you're fighting because there is something in it for you, then you do all you can to win. But if you expect nothing, there is nothing for you, but you still fight to win, that proves your mental strength. Camara made it through to the final 8 in Tokyo. Not enough for a medal. But Fatoumata Yarie Camara just goes to prove the founding motto of the Olympics. It's not about winning, it's about taking part.